to be here with everybody. I'll do my best to stay on as long as I can. My son came home from school at about 1:45ish. The school called us and said that he was running a low-grade fever, and he was just stuffy and sneezy and things like that. Came home and hasn't had a fever, but he's been sneezy and stuffy, and it's that time of the year. But he's been really happy at home. I mean, obviously he's congested a little bit with the stuffiness. But so am I, so is Julie. Just that kind of that time of the year. And he's been outside. He wanted to sit outside a lot, and he was all bundled up. But it's so, dealing with that. He is getting his feeding right now, so I figured I would try to do the best we can this evening. If I can only do a half hour or 45 minutes, you know why? Especially if he comes out here after his feeding. So I started this before, and she's just about to start it. So gives us a good half hour to 40 minutes. But he's been doing good, even though. So now he can't go to school tomorrow because there's the 24-hour rule. But he hasn't ran a fever with us. But the school said it was more because he was drainy and things like that. Which there was a lot of kids. There was 3 other kids in the office getting picked up. And it was, like I said, there was only less than an hour left of school. So I mean, he made it through the whole day. So he'll get a day home with us tomorrow. But he's in good spirits, that's for sure. So good evening. 6:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, October 27th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So if I don't get to everybody, I apologize, but I want to get through some of the information while we have some moments together, but I will get through some of the ones who are here quickly here. Dan Marginal, welcome in, and thanks for being in town zone for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. Frankie Fresh and Crypto Cooter, welcome in, and thanks for being in town zone for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. And Crypto Cooter, thanks for being a very trusted mod. Frankie Fresh, if Janine's watching, good evening, dear. Hope you're doing very well. Aurelie, welcome in, and I'm so proud to see you in here once again. Matthew and Eddie, welcome in. Nickel Trickin, thanks for being in town zone for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Mark Caston, Mosey here, thanks for being in town zone for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Let's see. Mark Korf, welcome in along with Anthony Venegas. Thanks for being in town zone for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And that is my face superimposed on those emoji badges. Greatly appreciate that, everybody. Big Dog, welcome in, and thanks for being in town zone for 3+ months with the XP Meteor, along with Dan Marginal. ZJ2 Pilot, thanks for being in town zone for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Incredible support there. Incredible. Is Linnea still worth keeping? I mean, it hasn't fallen out of the formation. It's worth keeping to me for a long time, but if it falls out of this formation, no, I would get rid of it and then just see what happens if it falls all the way through, but it's not to that point yet. In fact, it's not even close. I think it's doing exactly what it needs to do here. So, no, to put it blatantly, like for the copy trade, the ones who wanted to ride Linnea with me, the only reason we would sell it at any point, one, if it broke this structure and proved to me that it was going to come down to that 00895, well, yeah, I'm going to sell it and then I'm going to pick it back up because I have a couple 100,000 tokens. I had bought it at 009 and sold it around 001 or 016, not because I was getting rid of it, but because I wanted to buy it with the group. And we had to do some tests, buy and sell, and finally it worked. So I'm not just going to sell it until it breaks that structure like I was going to at 1413. Obviously, it's in real time, so the farther it comes, the lower it can be. But yeah, unless it were to break that structure, no, I'm not looking to sell it, to be honest with you. Because I'm waiting for that upper retest. And if it falls below this, that's fine. I will sell it. If it looks like this is going to break, and you guys will know if you're in the copy trade because you won't be in it, and then I'll just pull the trigger back down here. I'm not worried about losing a few dollars on this right now. This is the way it goes when you're trying to accumulate in the early stages. You don't know exactly where to hold deep, so all we can do is base it on the formation and go from there. But right now, I'm very comfortable. Yeah, we have a wide range all the way down to 005, but we know the range. We know we're in a wedge. So it's a comfortable feeling. We're massively oversold. We can't see in the weekly for the stochastic because there's not enough data. But in the daily, it's significantly oversold. Significantly. Did I mention it's significantly oversold? 4 hourly was overbought not too long ago. Let's see where it's at right now. Ooh, it pulled down a lot with that drop. Excellent to see. That means the smaller time frames are all within oversold probably now. 3 hourly just put in oversold. So the rest of them are going to get pretty damn deep into that oversold. Oh, yeah. They're pushing down real deep. Hourly's coming back, but it just had that little short bounce. So, oh, yeah, this is what you want to start. You'll start to see once it starts to bottom a little bit. The daily is significantly oversold. That's what I want to see, but that's neither here nor there. That's just the way it goes sometimes. But no, short answer. Even if I did get rid of it, it would just be to buy it back a little bit lower. And the only reason I would even sell it would be to get more tokens than I already had without having to put more money in. So, but yeah, I have a couple 100,000 tokens, so I'm not. This is more of a long-term thing for me with Linea. It's just we might have to shuffle out of it a few times when it goes lower on these catastrophic breaks. So we'll see if it happens. Right now, I'm not too worried about it. I won't be worried about it even in the future. It's just I don't mind repositioning a little bit. Kind of like good examples like with IOTA. I had it, and when it was at, when it looked like it was breaking down, I sold it at 17 cents. We had that. I didn't know we were gonna have that historic drop after, but I got to buy it back at 8.5 cents and double from 40 to 80,000 tokens without adding, the money I would have added to do that. So that's what I try to look at with most assets. If we're in the accumulation phase, and it's a volatile point of the phase, so you can't do that with XRP right now. You missed that window. Now, if Linea was at 10 cents and we bought it at 1 point something, I wouldn't be doing that unless I was done with the cycle. This is different. This is prior to a cycle, so I'm trying to maximize the potential going forward. Anyhow, probably going to add more to the copy trade before escrow dump in case we step aside. Yeah, that's the interesting thing. We'll see what happens with that 2.08 billion token drop. What I'm hoping for personally is that we don't fall out here. And instead, we're consolidating here and have this big move up to try to test that drop point. Because that's really what we need to do. So we'll see what happens. Seeing that we cleared out all the liquidity below, it would make more sense to come tap this liquidity. And it is trying to break out here as we speak. Now, whether it's a fake out in the making, or if there's something more to this, because look how nice this pulled back up. That's a tremendous pullback to the top side. So we'll see what it has in store. I'll be watching it, though. I'll be watching it. But yeah, this is definitely that's a long scale play right there. Going into this cycle. The thing that we have to continue to pay attention to with XRP, unfortunately, yeah, earlier I was talking, I said, I hope it doesn't take that route near 272, because then it's going to cause a lot more trouble because people are going to buy it thinking it's just going to go up, even though it has no choice but to eventually come back down to that gap. Maybe that push up to 270 was what we needed to push us down to 251, but that sucked that it did that. I'm the first one to say it. I said I didn't want it to happen earlier, but it was definitely a possibility. But we'll see. Now we need to hold 262. Continue to push out in the 2-hour time frame. Otherwise, we're going gap hunting in a very real way. And, the higher you go up, the more of a resistance tug you're going to create. The higher we continue to go over. That daily is scary overbought. Like, it is scary overbought. And it figures they'd go up to the 100-day just to lock more people in. So that's scary oversold or overbought. 100, man. But it just is as oversold or overbought as it is on the daily. It's kind of funny how you look at this, because when you get into the weekly, we're oversold. We're just starting to turn up here a little bit, but remember, we're gonna have to back test this break through the trend line. So don't be surprised if you get a sharp turn back down and try to back test the move out. So I think this is still going to be fun as hell to watch either way. And I know we're getting closer and closer and closer to that November point where I think we're all going to start to have we're all going to have a little bit of fun in November. I can assure you. Now, Some more than others, because depending on obviously positioning. The XRP Bitcoin pairing, let's see how it's doing right now. I mean, it's back within that nice consolidation. It pulled itself right back in there. Should be a flag there. Obviously, it came all the way down here. And it's like, I'm not just going to ruin the integrity just because. Simply because in the weekly it bounced back so volatilely. So that's just like you can cut that away and just continue down the pattern. That's a liquidity strike if I've ever seen one. Weekly's turned up a little bit in stochastic. But we got some range to bounce around in here. And for the XRP Bitcoin pairing, August of 2026, this can technically run until. So, looking at some of the indicators while we have time, if you go to the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, there's a pretty fearful market right now. It's moved up a little bit, just simply because we had this. Oh, it's back into neutral. See, this is typical. Typical. Now we should drop hard at some point back in. This is typical. It's a perfect timing too. I would love to see this drop off right before all of this stuff happens on rate cuts at the end of the week, and the deal with supposedly China out in Korea starting on the 31st to like the 2nd or whatever. Zi Yao or whatever the fuck his name is with Trump. You know, continuing to basically, I guess, for lack of a better term, jerk each other off so that we all, I don't know, it's just a big fucking show. But let's see, let's see, let's just go back into the heat liquidation map. I like the heat liquidation map. I don't want Binance, though. I want the whole damn thing. Oh, I don't want that. So, we've got... See how we've added some liquidation now below? Perfect. This is what we talked about before. We needed to climb up to start putting some liquidation. See, now we've got some below again. Before we had nothing below. Now we've added some. 485 at 106. 581. 3. There's lots of liquidation down there now. We came and tapped this area. Exactly what we talked about. That was legitimately the maximum amount they could have picked up because they went through that very severe area, that darkened area. They would come all the way up there to hit that right around 116. Now it's all gone, but that did it. Left some liquidity below now. And we know we have a gap. It's like 110,700-ish. That was left from Friday, the CME gap for Bitcoin. XRPs, for reference, was left at $2.51 and some change on Friday. Speaking of XRP, let's take a look at the liquidation map. And if you're looking for, one, if you want to copy trade and get in on the future, there's a video description below and our pinned comment during this very live. It's TOOBIT. Make sure you follow with that link and then go into copy trade and search XRP Future Millionaire. I encourage you to join us on TOOBIT, the lowest spot in leverage trading fees you're going to find worldwide. Especially in the USA because we're able to use it. They have a lot of different assets. A lot of different assets. That's where I hold my Epic and Algo and Linea. But they have so much more. And then you can join us in the copy trade. It's a long-term game there, so you might see some in and outs, but that's just for positioning if it does fall below the consolidation, and then we'll just pick it back up at the technical drop point. But you'll get more shares, or more tokens. And then I just encourage it because they have such low fees, and it was working during the times when we had that big historic crash in crypto. You want to have that exchange for when tier 1 exchanges go down. It's just, you need it. Just like I still encourage BitUnix if you've already got an account. I still trade on it. Like, I do trade on it. I keep right now I have like $2,300 on there. I like to do some different style trading on there outside of spot, let's just say. So, you know, but I don't know how long we'll be able to, but I encourage you to use it while you can. But just going forward, you got to have different things. And TOOBIT was the one that was least affected. WeX I use, which is also in the comments below. A link if you want it for the spot IOTA. So at least you can hold spot IOTA. The only problem is we can't withdraw the IOTA, but at least you can buy spot IOTA. I mean, it's something. It's a big something because it's very hard to find in the USA. So yeah, that's just some of the things that if you're new, I would encourage you to make sure if you have a tier 1 exchange to have something that probably no KYC because that's just what you're probably going to have to do, but make sure they work in the USA. Everyone that I have the link to are ones that I use, and I have $10,000 or more on the exchange. So WeX is all 80,000 tokens in IOTA, and then on TOOBIT there's over $20,000, but that's between Epic, 10,000 tokens of Epic, 50,000 plus tokens of Algo, and a couple 100,000 tokens of Linea. Just to be transparent. Where the fuck was that going? Let's see. I want to see the long and short map. Let's see. Oh, right here. I accidentally closed it before like an idiot. Nope, this isn't the right one. That's why I closed it. I am not an idiot. I closed it because it's not the one I want. Let's see. No, this isn't it. I want the other one. Son of a bitch. Now you can call me an idiot. I don't want to go search for it because I just don't want to do it. Sometimes I just want it to be up here for me. Be up here for me. Oh, that's all the way back to August? Well, that's not going to be on there. Stochastic Bitcoin time frame, 1 year liquidation, blah, blah, blah. I think we talked about it on Saturday. Yeah, right here, long to short ratio. Beautiful. All right. Right now, we've got 48.3% going long and 51.62% in the 4-hourly going short, but let's throw it into the daily. I think the daily gives us a little more evidence. So whether you're a veteran trader, you're a new trader, you're somebody with a lot of info or not on any info at all, you want to pay attention to these metrics. In my own personal experience. Holy crap, there's some stuff going on in here. I'm sorry, I had to refresh it because nothing was refreshing. Defined, welcome in, and thank you for being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram and Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor says, we have so many good stories in this community. Anyone being part of Tom's Army wish to have a call-in with Tom on how being part of this army has impacted you. Oh, that's awesome. Is it me or does anyone else think Tom looks like a supervillain in the thumb? Hey, I can't argue that. If anybody, it's hard to see the thumbnail. I updated it because I had it like this when we were moving up. XRP 256 to target 265. Just whenever you look at it, look at that bottom left corner next to me. I've been putting the secret info right there. And then once we filled that, I put this. CME gap sits at 251. So I'm changing it ever so slightly. But what do you see? Mid-November, bags packed, some people in disarray. The ascension, you can turn that into whatever you want. But I really like how it looks. And it honestly, it sums up the way I like it. And it's not to mock other people that put themselves in there. It's just, I think it fits. And then I can give a little detail. You can see who I am. Yada, yada, yada. But anyhow, continuing. And make sure to hit that like or that subscribe button. Apparently, we went over 47,200 subscribers today. But I'm sure when I come back on tomorrow, it'll be 47,100. So, it's one of those things. Tom Stastic. I like that too. Statistic. Or statistic. What's that word? Oh, confidence. We have confidence. If that's what you're talking about. And Alec, Tony, thank you so much for not only being in Tom's Army with Jesse for over 3 months with the XP Meteor, but Alec Tony was our #1 top contributor this week and was mentioned in the weekly edition in the Telegram. If you're not in there, you're definitely missing out. Jan, thank you so much for being in here, love, and not only being in here, being a very trusted mod in here during the lives and being in Tom's Army for over 3 years with the XRP Diamond Hands badge. Unbelievable. Says, I hope everyone is having a good day. 46 months. And we'll go over something too. I think I have to pause this because it shows info. Hold on. Let me pause this for 2 split seconds just so I can make sure it doesn't show personal details. Because I want to make sure the ones, hold on. Okay, I just didn't want to give anybody's info. So I wanted to thank the newest members of Tom's Army because it was a doozy. I should do this every single day. I'm going to do this every single day now. You'll see this for a split second. Um, but I know we just had donations, so let me skip where the donators were because I'll thank you guys on there. But Dr. Shante, thank you for re-upping in Tom's Army for 4 years now with the XRP Phoenix badge. Let's see. Alec Tony, thank you for gifting 5 subs. MJ, Vincent, Kenny, Theory, and Marty, congratulations on getting gifted subs. Love seeing that. And let me just make sure to thank Mandy for re-upping in Tom's Army for your 3rd month with the XRP Meteor. Ernie Lightning yesterday for over 3 years with the XRP Diamond Hands badge. Jason Blackburn joined Tom's Army along with Israel yesterday. Zachary yesterday has his over 3-year XRP Diamond Hands badge. So I just wanted to thank you guys in the last day or so. So thank you all. I'll be doing that every single day. I'll make sure to go into there. And I apologize for pausing it. Now people are leaving. But hey, I like to give thanks to the ones who are going above and beyond too. I think you deserve it. But let's get back to this. Tom, good news. The stores are packed with pumpkins on Friday. I went to pick up a couple more today and everyone is sold out. There you go. When you start to see the pumpkins out everywhere, you know something's turning in our favor. So Bitcoin in the daily, 49.8% are going short, 50%, 50.17 long. So big disparity in the last 4 hourly though. A lot more are going short. 51.18% short, 48.8% going long on XRP in the 24 hourly. The 4 hour, 49% long, 50.7% short. And in the 12 hour, 50.57% long, 49.4% short. So interesting. So there's still that tendency that people think we're going to go down rather than up. Ethereum in the 24 hour, 52.5% short. And 47.45% long. Interesting indeed. Let's see. National debt continues to grow. Hopefully we don't have a sovereign debt crisis because each one of us owe $110,680. But if you're a taxpayer, you owe $327,507 in a sovereign debt crisis, which means, well, if they try to, it's going to cause chaos. But theoretically, they'll collect on their debt and we won't be able to pay it. And then they're just going to start taking our stuff. Good luck. But that's what that means. So it's always fun knowing things, isn't it? It's fun to know things. Yeah, fear and greed is neutral. It's like 52 or whatever right now. Too high. This is where we get the hump back. This is where everybody gets excited and then they just cut our throats. That's why I like to watch the CME apps. Gives you a quick insight into what they're probably going to do next. Still love it though. A lot of opportunity out here. Epic looks like an early runner to the downside, down 7%. But again, This one is literally back testing the breakout. It's one of those things like this is getting significantly oversold here. 4 hourly is extremely oversold in the stochastic. Daily's what's got to work its way down, and it will. Weekly significantly getting to the oversold as well. This is why it's becoming a very beautiful thing in crypto. If we could get this last big drop here, and it doesn't have to be 60% this time. Let's get a 10, 15, 20% market where I drop real quick. But they basically drop your nuts off. They cut your nuts off. So I'm trying to get dinner on the table again. So listen, Mrs. Stott, thank you so much for being in town over 3+ months with the XP Meteor. We know Mr. Stott is one lucky son of a gun. What a sweetheart you are. And we know Mr. Stott, once again, as we always say, is going to do those dishes very nicely after dinner. But Mr. Stott, welcome in as well, my good friend. Mr. and Mrs. Stott, what a great couple we have in here. Michael, welcome in, and thanks for being in town over 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. Can you look at Zcash chart, Tom? I have not looked at it, to be honest with you. I only know of it from a few people because they talk about it sometimes, but I have not honestly really. It's ZEC, right? ZEC. I mean, this is 1-2 in the weekly. I know it's gone fucking ballistic, but man, oh man. That is so overbought in the weekly. I would like to believe, you see how this shot up and cleared all of its gains from its massive consolidation over several years. I'd like to believe this is what all of crypto is starting to do with the altcoins. Right now, if I was saying, like, you want to be buying when the weekly stochastic is oversold, like we're seeing in our altcoins right now, and you want to sell when this is overbought, and it's at 100. I mean, it's at 100, and this is the weekly. There's going to be a serious correction. If I had to guess, I mean, I don't know when it's going to happen because nobody can possibly know when, but I would say it's probably getting pretty goddamn close. That is just a substantial breakout. Substantial. Let's see. I can give you a quick tap area here to see if it's going to continue. Because we had a resistance, and when we broke out, that now becomes a support top. So it's going to have to hold this first layer. If you want to get more into detail, it would look something like this. And one could argue maybe... Yeah, perfect. So you'll find out very quickly if this is meant to continue or not. If it bounces back and holds this, it's got a substantial push up still. Like just the fact that if it breaks out of this, which it was not a guarantee. Like, I mean, it's an ascending. It looks ascending. So if that's the case and it holds the back test, I mean, where can it go? 470. And you're looking for a firm back test at... If it holds $312, it can go pretty parabolic here. It'll go up another $140. If not, it'll start off. It'll simply come back into the consolidation, and it's gonna seek 290. And then if it falls off of there, it's all hell, because then it's gonna come down to the 200. It's gonna start seeking some of these numbers. Let's just know if it falls out of this pattern, it is pretty much over for a minute. But it had an epic rally, so. You know, considering it's at $340 and it started at, let's see. I don't want to go all the way back to 24 because this rally wasn't down at 18. But when it started this rally, it was at September. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, this is good right here. About $35, so it 10x. It absolutely 10x. That legitimately 9x. So you'll see that that's a substantial rise up. So it can obviously not always go up forever. Now, if it doesn't have eyes to go up to that $470 range and it does break down, you know, you're talking about, I mean, that's the seriousness. If it doesn't continue and it breaks down, you could have a pretty big differential. But hey, For anybody who was on board on that, they don't give a rat's ass for when it breaks down. All they know is they just had a substantial rally. Somebody had altered stochastic. It's just a very sensitive indicator. It's the stochastic RSI. They call it the Scott RSI. It's like the relative strength index, but it has a lot more sensitivity to different factors that go into it with different style indicators and points of data, let's just call it, for layman's terms. So as to where the RSI, it takes a little bit longer. It's more of a lagging indicator. The stochastic is very sensitive to movement. So when you see that some bits very oversold in the weekly, I always judge it in the weekly by the stochastic. Based on my charting that I see, I always back it off with the weekly stochastic to be like, oh, shish kebabs. Obviously, we can't see that in the linear. But I suspect if they could show us a weekly, it wouldn't be looking so well. The daily is so far oversold, it's sick. And it's going to continue to move in that direction. We'll see. We'll see. We're almost into September. We get rate cuts on... When's the next FOMC meeting? FOMC meeting. It's at the end of the week. U.S. dollar falls early Monday. Focus on FOMC meeting. Oh, I don't want to click on that. Nobody cares about your crap. October 28th to 29th. Ooh, that's tomorrow. Tomorrow starts the 2-day meeting. Excellent. We're going to have an interesting week. That's all an illusion. Thank you so much for continuing in Tom's Army for your 11th month with the XRP predictor. And month 12, you get the I told you so badge for one whole year. That's just how YouTube does it. I can't do one in between. So I look forward to reading off you being in Tom's Army for over 1 year. What a beautiful honor that is indeed. It's an honor for me to have all of you. Julie, somebody gifted 5 subs. I feel honored. Oh my God, I gifted another 5 subs, Julie. Alec Tony, thank you so much for gifting 5 subs. That's unbelievable. 1 month for 6-month badge. Yes, indeed, Alec Tony. You'll be in Tom's Army for... Or wait a minute. Julie, you know what I'm saying. He gifted 5 subs, and now he's been in Tom's Army for 5 months. You know what I'm saying. 1 more month for a 6-month badge. That is unbelievable. And that's going to be the XRP predictor. Thank you, Mr. Tony, for those the 5 gifted subs earlier too. Sorry, I was trying to explain it to Julie. Here comes my son, so we might, like I said, he's feeling a little sick, so I'm probably gonna have to end this. We got 32 minutes in. Oh, he gifted 5 more subs. TT. Yeah, Mr. Tony gifted subs. Come here, you want to say hi to everybody? Come here. Come see Daddy. You want to say hi? We got to say hi. Come here. He's a little stuffy. Yeah, he's just a little stuffy. Yeah, you see yourself? You see yourself up there? Say hi, everybody. I'm just not feeling so well today. I need my daddy. Yeah, he needs his daddy. Yeah, I know. He needs his daddy. But thank you so much, Alex Tony, for those 5 gifted subs. But I'm gonna go with my son, as you guys know. We're all stuffy in this house. But congratulations, Jedi, for getting the 6-month badge. Good luck with all that, Armand J. Rod, for your 1st month, and totally awesome for 2nd month. But I'm gonna go hang out with my son. Here he is.